I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't run for this, you change the plan. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't run.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 985 Tuesday. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias at the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Riz is here.
Sorg, I'm looking at your numbers.
My numbers? What numbers?
I'm looking at your recap.
My recap.
Your Twitch recap.
My Twitch recap. For
not bad.
Okay, which account?
For indie wrestling.
IndieWrestling.us that we're streaming on right now.
Right now, as well as I think you're also doing on Sorgatron Media as well. But yeah, it's good numbers here, Sorg.
Okay.
Where's my emoji?
Where's your emoji?
Yeah, why don't I have an emoji?
Well, I think I got to see if I can put more emojis in there because I only had 5.
Probably can't.
And we had our logos for this, the couple of promotions. One I don't think we work with anymore, and we had a random one I made of Ziggy Heim because we did the Hanukkah Day thing.
Surprisingly, the top emoji that's been used is the RWA emoji.
Yeah. I wonder if that's during the pre-shows or what. So because I don't look at the chat enough when we go live.
But yes, I'm here, Sorg.
Thank you. So Riz has been I'm like, Riz, I got my recaps from Twitch. You're my Twitch expert. Is this good? Because if you didn't know, Riz plays games.
I do.
On Twitch.
Twitch.
And
I haven't played games in a while. But...
And I don't know how to read the tea leaves of I don't know if these are good numbers. They're not we're not doing thousands and thousands or anything over there, but there's definitely a good number of people popping in there, right?
Yes. Yes. But Sorg, you're taking time away here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, of course, I got to introduce intern Mac is here.
Hi.
Hey. It's been a couple weeks. We watched part of the homework.
Yes, we watched.
So we'll do that. We'll do that because there is a comparison point there, and we'll update on that. And we also have, let's see here. Oh, some guy named John.
Some guy named John
is here. Welcome.
I feel welcome. Thank you.
Good.
Important week.
It's an important week. 880 is in the middle of a big move, and I thought we'd talk about that. You seem implicated in that, and you had a big week with Effie on Thanksgiving Eve that we'll talk about later in the show, right?
Indeed.
So, including the big question that we'll leave as a teaser is, we found out, are you gay enough?
We did find out.
Yes.
It's been answered.
And we'll find out more about that here in a little bit. In the meantime, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We're here live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We're streaming on about everything Wrestling Mayhem Show accounts. That's Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, even Instagram as well. You can join us, and we're keeping an eye on the chats as much as we can here across the board. So thank you, everybody, for joining us over there. We'll keep an eye on all that and bring you into the conversation as we're able to. So it really does kind of drive the conversation here. And the big part of the conversation here, whether you bought 900 seats and could actually see it or not, is the Survivor Series and War Games. Obviously it was the War Games match. I guess, do you want to do the bad news since I just teased it off the bat? Did you guys see the $900 seats that couldn't see the ring?
I saw some Twitter photos of them.
Mm-hmm.
X, whatever you call that damn app.
Mm-hmm.
Not great.
Not great. It was like I don't think I tagged it to be able to bring it back up here, but it was like a barricade and a small TV, and you could see the screens above the ring, but not the actual ring from where they were at. I asked the question online: is this the venue or WWE's fault? And unfortunately, a lot of people kind of harped on and I get it because this is kind of the thing, the TKO of it. No, it's TKO's fault that it's $900 and stuff. It's like, well, that's not the question I was asking. Whose responsibility is it to make sure the seat that you purchase that is not marked as obstructed view is actually as advertised? Because this isn't the first time this happened with WWE events. WrestleManias have had this problem where the big post from that structure is, and when I go to Manias now, I can see they've definitely tapered things off. There's a big gap there that's not an issue, or for a lot of that. But so I was like, is the ball field in San Diego the problem? Because they're telling WWE this, or is somebody doing this? It's I feel like WWE's done this long enough, and they do so many of these now. They should have this kind of sorted out.
I don't think they care. I think TKO...
We got your money.
Yeah, no, I think it's about nickel and diming. I was reading that CJ Perry story today where she said they no longer get friends and family tickets.
Yeah, I've heard a couple versions of this.
You now need to pay for your friends and family to come to every show.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan in particular had to buy a box to get her friends to come watch her comeback.
Yeah.
TKO was like, no, we don't do that.
Rusev had to buy a $5,000 in box tickets for the entire family to come see him at WrestleMania this year. And there was even one account says, they would put in for the friends and family, and then at the last minute they would pull them and sell the seats. So they're showing up expecting tickets that they don't have. And that's a morale issue. So do you really need to maximize so much that I guess at $1,000 a ticket, why not? That's actually a good, upsell or something like that. But man, it's I said today, Vince at least like made sure families could see this because he knew who the audience was. For all the Vince problems, like it was a family. And this TKO was like, oh yeah, it was cute that he had a family business here, but we really think we can maximize this. And you just see that attitude.
I honestly think they'll sell with him 5 years. TKO is going to sell this thing the moment they can make a penny off it.
Yeah. We are in that point, right? So where it's just a, just like Warner Brothers is just getting hoarded around to the next investor, and you're like, but what about Batman? Like the biggest worry I have for AEW is the next buyer won't want them. That's the biggest. I think that's the biggest threat to AEW as a company. It is the same thing that happened to WCW. Was literally, you have the highest ratings, we don't want you. Even as low as they got, they were some of the highest ratings in 2000. 2001, 2000, yeah, because they went out in 2001, right? Like, they were the only live thing. They were only, this. They have whatever fucking reruns back in the day, or I don't even know what was running on TNT in 2000 at the time. And I just think that's the biggest thing. I would like to see AEW diversify and be on some other channels as well.
It'd be unfortunate because like David Zaslav, the current owner of president of Warner Brothers Discovery, is pretty much just famous for canceling TV shows.
Yeah.
So they survive that, and then they get, that would be the worst.
I'm waiting for somebody to buy out Batgirl because I want to see what happened there.
I'm very curious about that.
Because I mean, we got the Daffy and Porky Pig.
Yeah.
We're getting the Wile E. Coyote trial movie. Somebody else bought the rights to it, so like, and I don't know what the difference is. Like, can Batgirl get? This became another podcast, by the way, but it still applies to AEW in the long run. So I don't know. W just becomes this like brand commodity thing. It's still wild to me to flip on my Disney Plus and see the Survivor Series advertised. Which again goes back to my prediction I made several years on the prediction show that Disney will end up buying WWE and Rhea Ripley or Charlotte will become a Disney princess because Rhea Ripley wasn't big yet.
It's a lot closer than you think.
It's so close right now, isn't it?
If you look at it, if you look at it and you look at TKO's catalog here, they had UFC. They have UFC.
Yeah.
UFC went from ESPN to Paramount.
Yeah,
like Paramount.
ESPN just did 1st. Yeah, ESPN just did a swap out, didn't they?
Yeah. Like Paramount is at January 1st. They're gonna be the home of UFC. So, then I feel like in a couple of years it's gonna be WWE's turn somewhere.
Something to that effect, right? I think you see those patterns,
and
right?
I think with the last few PLEs that they've had. It might be a lot quicker than we think.
Yeah, it feels like the PLEs have been a little rough since they've been on. We've had 3 of them now,
and they've been reviewed by somebody at ESPN, and they said it stunk.
That is like the biggest cell phone. Hey, we just spent like $5 billion or whatever it was for this product.
This is good.
And by the way, it's not the best it's been. Like, it's definitely, I really feel like WWE's on a downslide. It's not like they're doing terrible. They're making money, but man, they're on a downslide right now. And it's not bad. It's not. It's real. We were watching Elimination Chamber before the show because it came on after we were watching a little bit of the homework. And it was the year where I'm like, Josh Matthews is the announcer, and this is happening. CM Punk's in the Straight Edge Society Nexus amalgamation thing, and the whole thing just got interrupted by the anonymous general manager Michael Cole reading from a laptop. And I was just like, this is why NXT was so great at the time. We're not there.
Does Mac know who the anonymous Raw general
We didn't get
is?
Into it. We can have that conversation if Mac is interested. So when we get to that, but it's definitely not what it has been. You know, like the next Bloodline story isn't there yet. The next Cody finish the story isn't there yet. And they're in, I don't know, is it a rebuilding phase technically? Maybe, or a sorting phase because of all the new TV deals and the moving parts there, so and I always see the messages of WWE's bleeding us dry by making us buy this, and this. It was like, yeah, but WWE's not getting all that money from you.
No.
Like, like they're different providers. There's a good thing in the chat that popped up here. That was let's see, where was it at? Podner is saying if Netflix or Comcast or Universal was the buyer for, say, Warner Brothers, whatever they call them these days, what does that mean for AEW? I don't know if that means much, honestly. Maybe Netflix would be a problem.
Netflix, actually, I read, made a great pitch today, a cash offer.
Yeah.
And they have the investors lined up. So there were a lot of rumors today.
It might go down.
Netflix might finalize this deal.
But that's also like they still have HBO and all that kind of stuff. They have other platforms. They have TV. I don't know if the TV is involved because I thought they were spending that out maybe.
I think it would depend on who buys it.
Yeah, so I don't think Netflix is interested in Discovery, True TV, and maybe they are. Maybe we'll see Stranger Things on TNT next, along with not Suicide Squad. What was the other thing? Was the one with the robot guy? Doom Patrol. Yeah, that's popping up. And if Comcast Universal buys it, I don't think that's necessarily a death knell for AEW because, again, if the channels are included, we're Comcast Universal isn't like a holistic provider of WWE anymore. They have SmackDown, and I think they get rid of everything else in February or March, which now the question is also, what does happen in America to NXT PLEs? Like, where does that go? In my mind, it could just go straight to YouTube at this point because WWE's doing a lot of YouTube stuff, right? So it could be that's antitrust monopoly territory. Well, not in this economy. Do
you see them going like the route of maybe adding on to Netflix, being like, hey, you have Raw, here's a monthly live, monthly. Quarterly, whatever you want to do it, for our NXT program.
I am curious what WWE's pull will be in that. I don't know who has the pull here, Netflix or WWE. Can WWE say, no, we got to be the only wrestling? It's not like there aren't other wrestling.
Or do they just go to ESPN?
I mean,
I feel like ESPN might be the key.
I think in the void, AEW will be valuable to somebody. Mm-hmm. In a world where it was announced today that Impact Wrestling is going to be moving to AMC channel, which is a channel people actually have, and they made all the references to Breaking Bad and everything in it too, so they're already off to a great start. Are you ready for listen, remember when TNA we went to Destination America and we were looking at the Amish zombie ghost hunter shows and stuff that were on that channel to figure out what that channel was?
I remember they did like the Speed channel at one point, and they had a whole different programming of what was it called? It was pretty much a wrestling promotion for Speed, like the Speed channel, with like Jay Lethal in a mask, wrestling somebody else. It didn't last very long.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So
it was TNA.
TNA's been through some shit over the last 10 years, and God, they've survived and they're doing great, and they're on the comeback.
Biggest thing since Spike TV.
What's that?
Biggest thing since Spike TV.
See, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean,
that's like 15 years ago.
I think it's bigger than Spike TV. Right?
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. AMC is not what AMC used to be.
I guess
it depends if they end up on the streaming platforms for AMC. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what the deal fully entails.
So T-Pop's in the chat room saying the NXT PLAs just goes to YouTube, at least temporarily, like AAA's events have been. Yeah, I think that's happening too. And AAA's making movements. They've moved from, I presume they're coming off of HBO Max down there, / Space TV, I think is one of the things. And looks like they're going to Fox. I don't know if it was Fox or Fox Sports, and that's the Mexico's Fox. So that's different, obviously, then. Because I think AEW had programming on Fox down there. Like they had some kind of AEW Espanol show that was, and a wrestler programming went on a Fox network. I don't know if that's still the case. Maybe that deal's done and they swapped in AAA. So wait, Speed, didn't they try to bring back Sparkplug Bob Holly? No. That's, man. If they could, they probably would have. I'm sure he was still signed at the time. They probably would have. I think he was still with WWE at the time. So, but yeah, so that there's big question marks on there. I think you're going to see more movement in AAA to be more America friendly because they're streaming it to WWE's YouTube in Spanish. which is wild because when they were independent, Joe Dombrowski himself was doing commentary, on Triller and stuff. And now they have nobody after that big show they did of it like a few months ago. Like, I feel like they're disconnecting at that point because, like, that's not making it, like, they're making it partially accessible in a certain way, obviously, but it's still like, but I don't know what's going on. Maybe I don't need to know. I just, he's an iguana guy and he's doing fun stuff, but, but a lot of people aren't going to digest that, right? It was really hard for us to watch New Japan before they went everything English, but that still really niches thing for you. And you want to see it because Dominic's there. Mm-hmm. And Americano and all these guys, and you want to see what they're doing down there, right? So I don't know. I feel like that seems really strange and disjointed for WWE TKO to be doing it this way, considering how flushed out everything else has been over the last couple of years. So it's really, really intriguing. So this was to my knowledge, this is the first stadium. Because they're like, oh, we set all these records for Survivor Series. So it's like, yeah, because they've been in arenas, I think, for its entire history, right, to my knowledge. So this is the first outdoor War Games. Watching the intros made me long for a pay-per-view at PNC Park here in Pittsburgh, which is something that has never entered my mind. Because that is, we always have we're the prettiest, ballpark. Like, San Diego's got some pretty good views. They did that bay view over the top of it. I'm like, Missy, look at this. Look at this view here. And they're right in the middle of the city. Like, you're looking up through the rafters and you're seeing just a building. That seems very unique to what we've had with these PLEs, up until now. So I don't know. What did you guys get off of the vibe there?
I think it depends how many seats they have. I guess I don't really know the seat count, but they're just going to want to cram people in. That's the whole point of it, right?
It is true, but they haven't been filling SummerSlam. Yeah. Especially now that they went to 2 nights. Cleveland was not near fill when they did SummerSlam up there. There was an entire top, both sides top, that were just a couple levels were tarped off. So I think they like the possibility of it, but if they can't fill, they're not even filling for WrestleMania anymore.
No, Vegas didn't fill. They
No.
charged too much.
They charged. It was really cheap if you go day of. When you buy the tickets a couple days out, it's kind of nice, actually. So do not plan in advance for WrestleMania is my hot tip for you. The Woods family did the same thing. I think they just bought their stuff a couple days in advance.
I have a buddy in Vegas. I'm pretty sure he did something similar.
Yeah. The only issue was I bought my ticket for Raw on that same day because I was trying to figure out if I could make my flight still. And I ended up with a handicap seat by accident. So because I'm like, oh, it's cheap. It's on resale. And then I looked at I literally walked to the section. I'm like, what the hell is HC? And they're like, oh, shit. So there's that. We talked about that back then. Dave Bonner says that PNC Park can do 40,000 for baseball, so I'd imagine it'd be more for wrestling. They did 40-some thousand for Survivor Series this week, so I think that would pretty much work out for them. And they're not killing any seats for that set. They did that dugout set, that cool aisle light tunnel that they did, and they played with that a lot with those guys coming out. That was really cool. So anyways, let's talk more about Survivor Series, the matches, maybe after this, less than the business that we've been doing. So, but in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends that are supporting us over on patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys got the bonus content. Got a little late. I was having trouble getting the videos up on Patreon this week. So sorry for the delay, but that gives you a little something. Also, let me know, do you want the Patreon updates the same day as the show, or do you want them later in the week? You want a little Mayhem nugget later in the week? Let me know over there in the chat or over in messages over on the on the Patreon page and stuff, right? So, but thank you everybody that does support the show, including our friends at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! A little more enthusiasm out of Mac this time. I like it. Team Hammer Fist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer, Jason French, and back on Patreon, the mother of dragons herself, Tina Keys, is back on there. At Poppy Club level, Dave Prop Pod Podner, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid, T-Pump, True Prince Pro. At the Pizza Club level is The Riz, as well.
That's the wrong one. Shoot, that's the wrong one.
That's me. That's Turkey me. Okay. All right. There you go. Justin Cleaver, whoever that is. And at the manager level, Bradley.
Still you.
It's
Still
You're supposed to just do it behind me.
Then it's
There we go. Bradley. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show, having fun with us, and making the show keep rolling through the.
This is scary, by the way.
Yes, especially over your shoulder like that. So that's good. I'm surprised nobody said anything to me at Thanksgiving about that picture on my social media. So, because nobody's like, "Where did you get a turkey suit?" You know, I'm like, "No, I didn't. It's AI." Anyway, so Survivor Series, they had War Games. It was another War Games. It was... People didn't like the ending. The vibe is people didn't like the ending. The women's one was fantastic, I thought.
The women's one was great.
So, but they definitely went a direction. And we still don't know who the masked man is.
It's definitely not maybe... Austin Theory.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not Austin Theory.
The thing is, there's who it was, but there's who is it actually going to be in the
joy of
end.
the mask is you can just say it's whoever, right?
Yeah. Just like, who's going to be Vince McMahon's son? I don't know. Who is he? Also, did we ever resolve who the anonymous general manager was? I was thinking about that today. Was it? No, it wasn't Hornswoggle.
It was
right?
Hornswoggle.
No, really?
No, yeah, I think they did write it off as Hornswoggle, just like the Sun.
Oh God! So every answer was Hornswoggle.
Every time it's Hornswoggle.
Good for Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Maybe bad for everything else. You know.
Really, really cool guy, by the way.
No disrespect for Hornswoggle, but Hornswoggle can't be the answer to everything. So
for a brief time, he
Why
was.
not?
But he was. Yeah. Jeez. There's some other joke in there somewhere, but. Either way, Tina's also dropping in. T-Mobile Park did like 50,000 when they had WrestleMania 19, and they could probably put in more there. It's a good size stadium up there. We drove by a couple weeks ago. So the match itself, like again, I always get weird with this because like we were watching the old War Games, this whole thing Squadron versus the Deadly Alliance a few weeks ago for intern Max homework, and just like. It was always kind of promoted as this brutal match, just barbaric, yada, yada. And even we were watching back, like, the first match they had back. And I remember and I can't remember that they've done anything with this since, but it's been maybe one instance of blood in this match since they came back with WWE. And we know WWE's a little more sanitized. That doesn't happen too often anymore in general. But this feels like This feels like where you should do it. Like Hell in a Cell is definitely where you should do it, right? Go ahead.
I feel like AEW was smart to run Blood and Guts like 2 weeks before.
It does kind of deflate it, doesn't it?
We had the same match with lots of blood. Now go see it, and no one's gonna bleed once.
Isn't AEW kind of doing this is what War Games is supposed to be?
That's what it felt like. Counter programming.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. It's like like it or not, and obviously people have opinions whether they should be or whatnot, but it's just it's hard to watch War Games 2 weeks after Blood and Guts. And Blood and Guts is a ridiculous fucking name. Let's be honest about that. But they go to town with it. War Games doesn't live up to the War Games name. Also, remember to put War Games match when you're searching for the history of it, because you're just going to get the movie with Matthew Broderick, which probably is worth a rewatch, but still.
I'd almost prefer the traditional Survivor Series matches.
I thought you were going to say you prefer the movie.
No, yeah, maybe. But no, the traditional Survivor Series matches, at least,
yes,
that meant something to me, and it shouldn't mean more. Like an 8-man tag should not mean more to me than what this match is, but it does.
I did appreciate they did have an old school Survivor Series match on Friday at least.
Sami Zayn looked great
on SmackDown, but man, I put everything down and watched that damn thing because I want to see a Survivor Series match. And they delivered. They said, we're going to be the last 30 minutes of this is going to be commercial free. I'm like, oh, you got my attention. And they had the graphics to show. Unfortunately, with all those guys wearing face paint, you kind of couldn't tell who was who when you got some people off of that graphic. But still, hey, you know what? It's just like when everybody was Doink, but meaner. But it's, and of course I'm talking about the NFTs.
Who was Doink and who was not Doink in that match.
Yeah. Well, we could tell who was Luke Doink and Butch Doink and Mo Doink,
Doink.
and what are the rest? Mabel Doink, Oscar Doink.
Yeah.
Look it
You
up.
got all that.
Look it up. This is going to be another homework assignment for
but
intern
still-
Mac eventually.
Not, and I think we've had this conversation before with like other pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell, TLC. Not everything needs to happen once a year.
No, and again, they've been really
Like-
good about pulling back on Hell in a Cell, make it mean something, right?
Like it, I don't need to see. I don't need to see War Games every year, especially when it's compared to Blood and Guts.
You were saying earlier people don't like the finish. I think whenever you have a match in a cage, people don't want to see someone from the outside get involved. That's
Yeah,
the whole
that's
concept
the
of a
point.
cage.
So, and to that, I do believe, I'm trying to remember, and I'm actually pulling up the match to see for sure. Didn't the Punk and Drew match did actually get bloody for a bit there? It was brutal. It lived up to Hell in a Cell, and yeah, they definitely had some blood, but also I think the blood was accidental because I
Yeah,
think it was
like
something
it-
like Drew got caught on something, and
fine.
he's definitely a full Crimson Mask in this thing. So and that was probably the best Hell in a Cell that they had done in a decade, right? At that point.
Yeah, CM Punk wasn't drinking the blood of Drew McIntyre in that match.
There was that too. And then you have AEW's just calling out, hey, we're going to have a tag team death match for a tournament match here coming up, which is tremendous. I do want to see Tony Storm versus Jon Moxley, by the way. Let's just go for it, right? So that's anyways, back to War Games. Don't want to go down the AEW hole yet. I think it's interesting. Royal Rumble does this now too, since 2 specialty matches that last a while, but only 4 matches on the show. Lots of wrestlers involved. You have 20 wrestlers between 2 matches. It makes sense. The women's match was good. By saying the women's match is probably the lowest match on the card is not a disrespect to the women's match in this case. When your other matches are War Games, and John Cena retirement almost match. So great stuff there.
And they made the women look great in the John Cena match.
Oh, absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. John Cena was taking he took pop rocks from the smallest girl in the freaking division. That was great.
Everyone in Judgment Day came out looking like $1 million in that match.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
That and then Liv Morgan's promo on Raw, just was a great reset button.
Mm-hmm. And just the fun they had with it when she posted on Instagram that night, the picture of her dressed as John Cena with no comments. It was good stuff. Good stuff. No, and that's what that needed to be. You knew it was going to be a schmoz fest, and Cena wasn't walking out with that. But, Dom's got that fire. Man, there was a note, I think it was maybe from that article, but I saw the quote going around that, what's the Players Tribune article that Rey Mysterio did and talked about how Dom's, homage to Eddie is reaching that status where he's going to get cheered no matter what he does already. God, to have that so young in his career is just insane, right? That guy, he's gonna main event WrestleMania in the next 3 years, and I might be
Sooner.
hedging that bet at this point.
There's 2 nights now, Sorg.
There's 2 nights. He's at least the first night main eventer. At minimum. At this point, right?
Well, it's hard to argue there's anyone more consistent. Maybe in the ring, but as an overall performer, he's entertaining, and he's always entertaining.
No, and he's rolling with that, and the crowd, watching them turn his direction, basically at WrestleMania this year was tremendous. Sitting there, hearing the chance to be like, wait, did we all just become Dom fans all at the same time? What happened here? And he still gets booed and whatever, but man, it's a beautiful build that we're doing here, right? T-Pop saying Matt Dominic playing off the shoot injury that Penta had on Raw by doing the same spot against Cena. The fool everyone was just, I heard the big Figure 4 podcast clips where they're just like, man, they did that so well. We all thought that we all bought it. kind of thing. They did that awkwardly long enough, but if you're watching, you're like, I saw that guy. I saw people moving around. You're like, you can watch people move in position if you know what to look for. But man, that was kind of great for that too. So, they kind of played all the hits on that one. So, and Cena did great. Did Cena do any homages in that one? Is he kind of done with that at this point? I don't think I saw any pop up in this one. It's pretty much.
I didn't saw anything either. He'll probably bust them out. It's coming up for the last match.
When he obviously takes on Gunther at this last one, because
I'd hope.
Probably.
I can't even think of not Gunther at this point. Like, you kind of want LA Knight to have more of a feel good night to it, but I don't know, man. That could go either way.
Yeah.
By the way, Rob doing a genius thing last night by doing a face heel match.
And, Gunther kind of just played face the whole match. And then not at the end. Like, got to do some heel stuff, but really played the face and peril role.
And people were into it. People were into both of them, right? Like, it's and we had face at the end. Like, WWE doesn't, like, they don't pull back on that anymore. And I love them doing that in a tournament, because you generally don't know how this is going to go. Because you can kind of read, like, oh, okay, there's 2 matches in a tournament. The face one, this one, we know what's going to happen in the next one, right? If you have watched enough wrestling, and to just say no, it's like to the point where they thought Penta was supposed to win. The smarts on the podcast world thought completely Penta was supposed to win that match they got injured in, and they're like, no, it's going to be Solo. Like, wait, they planned Solo versus Gunther? Okay, let's go. So like.
I mean, tournaments are perfect for that. Like, you don't want a heel versus heel match every week or babyface versus babyface, but when you do it, it can mean a lot because it's something different. It's not what you're watching on TV every week.
You want unpredictability.
Yeah, a tournament should bring that.
It should force unpredictability, or seemingly force unpredictability in your planning of the tournament, kind of thing. It's like, that's why I love the round robin tournaments, right? Like, you guys got the experience. So you got to take on your tag team partner in your recently at 880, right?
One of my favorite matches.
Yeah, no, that just came up on my feed, so I was thinking about it actually. And I was just like, God, that was like such a good thing. I can't wait. Presumably we would do the same thing next year at 880, just like I can't wait. Like, hopefully, maybe we'll see if people recovered by then, because I know that is stressful as hell to book that stuff for a month. But just like we look forward, I look forward every year now to the Continental Classic. 3rd year in a row, and it's like, and I'm watching, and they have intriguing matchups, and I get why people go crazy for the one in New Japan, right? So, so glad the youngins have a chance versus Cena. Yes, everybody in there got a chance against Cena. Finn Balor, I think, said something about, it's like, I knew Cena was strong. He's really freaking strong, because he got him up for the double AA with him and JD, of course. So much good stuff. Becky's crazy leader persona was great. Talking about the women's War Games match. EO has been reunited with her trash can that now bears her name. Potter said, how are they not selling the trash can? Do you know what shipping on a trash can is, sir, when you don't have Amazon Prime? You don't think Fanatics is going to pull back on that one. So maybe, I think her action figure has a trash can.
Say that's going to come with every action figure if it doesn't already.
It's just like, you just like, it's called toyetic, okay? Like, I learned this watching a documentary about Batman and Robin, the movie. So that's why Slim Jim is on every table now, right? That's why
you got the Fireball ladder.
The Fireball ladder, the EO Sky logo trash can, because it's weird to be just putting that in there, And it's why everyone wears their merch out to the ring. So you want to get that. And also, like, what was it like? I think Dustin Rhodes, and I've heard a couple of people talk to us, that they are like somebody with face paint. They're like, I got to keep doing different face paint so they keep making new figures of me, because give them a reason to make more figures of me. If I just look the same, Randy Orton hasn't changed too much in the last 20 years, So, hey, it's another Randy Orton figure. Cool. Okay.
Like the other one.
The tattoos are a little better this time. Okay. Oh, it's got his new tattoo. Like the little details. But, at least Joaquin Wilde can have a different hat, or something. So he just got his first one a
Rey
little bit ago.
Mysterio's been doing this for how many years now?
Oh man, Rey Mysterio really is the forefront of toyetic in wrestling,
masks.
isn't he? Masks and styles and nods to superheroes and things like that. T-Pop says thought it was very wholesome that Rhea Ripley was one who brought Io's trash can. I thought that felt right because I saw her with the lid. I'm like, Rhea's bringing the can, right? So that's great. But it was Becky afterwards. You mentioned Becky with the leadership. Afterwards, Becky had a couple of tweets saying that the trash can was rigged. So it's like just throwing everything out there. It was so great.
She never tapped out, by the way.
She never tapped out, right? Yeah. I also love Jessica Carr put a clown face on Becky's on the Raw poster in the arena apparently on Monday night. So I'm waiting for the Becky Jessica Carr feud to culminate because we know there's been rumors about her.
We know she can wrestle.
Again, we interviewed her on this show when she was a wrestler in the area. So
Becky's at that perfect point where she can lose to anyone and she's gonna get more heat and still be the top heel.
Oh yeah,
it's that beautiful spot.
She's lost nothing losing to Maxine.
No.
Have you seen the Maxine and Natty training video?
I did see the training video.
What the hell was that? Oh my god.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if I'll buy Maxine as a technical wizard after, but it was something different and it definitely stood out. It was, it made Natty look tough. It seems like we're getting a little bit of that indie persona from her.
Listen, we're getting Bloodsport Natty.
Yeah. That looks like what we're getting. Listen, we talk about on this show, like even with the 880 guys, like seeing Transformations guys like Nick Swiled and stuff. We're like, oh no, he's going to go anywhere and like just like click into something. Like, I mean, if anybody's going to click into something different, it's going to be at the WWE level, right? So like, maybe there is a badass makeover for Maxine. Maybe it is going to be, Max Payne Maxine or something. Maxine Payne should be her new name.
Well, there's something cool just because it does harken back to the Heart Dungeon, and anyone who's been watching for a long time remembers that's where good wrestlers go to train. Mm-hmm. So, you're sending Maxine to the modern equivalent of the Heart Dungeon.
Right, exactly. God, so much good stuff here. But anything else on Survivor Series before we move on? Or anything else WB? Do we have a PLE this weekend? Is NXT this weekend as well? Is it?
I know next weekend's
next
the Saturday
Saturday's
night
event. I think it is actually. This is a packed weekend.
Oh yeah, it's like the
the deadline. Yeah,
Gauntlet.
Iron Gauntlet. I believe John Cena picked all the people. I haven't gone up that. I'm still catching up on NXT. I catch up at Ring of Honor. We'll get into maybe a little bit later. But this weekend, by the way, you have so many choices for wrestling this weekend. On top of friends of the show like NWA Exodus that'll be returning to NWA's YouTube for the live stream out of Cleveland. But you do have Saturday's deadline. You do have Ring of Honor's Final Battle, which is included with the Honor Club subscription, which may be free again if they screw it up again. So who knows? Everybody got a free month of Ring of Honor last month or last time they did this. And I believe TNA is also doing, is it Turning Point perhaps? And another one. TNA lost me for a minute because Final Resolution is the show December on Friday. So Friday you have both TNA and ROH are going head to head for this, and that might be why they're announcing people are defending AEW belts on the Ring of Honor show because I think they're sprucing that up for the counter program. Both are included with monthly $9.99 plans, by the way. You're not going to spend a lot if you want to watch either show on Friday. So for half of a pay-per-view cost for AEW, you can go watch both shows on Friday and a whole bunch of other content for a month. So I'll put that out. Why am I doing an ad for these companies? So that's basically what the show is. Right? It's basically what this show is, right? We support the wrestling we like, right? Even at the high level. And they are all technically alternatives to WWE, the big corporate juggernaut right now. So yeah, fuck the man. Go for the lesser man that's also the man. So there you go. That used to be the woman because Dixie used to be there. I don't know who owns Anthem now. Anyway, So you have some options.
What's happening, Sorg?
I'm trying to get all my shit in, is what's happening here before we get to our interview segment. Jessica Carr is a former Vicious Outcast Wrestling alumni, and friend of the show. Under her previous name, Kennedy Brink, I believe. It's spelled really interesting. So, no, I remember having a good conversation with her like a decade ago. So we might have to pop that up during the break here, Riz. Maybe we'll do our interview rewatches like we did last year.
Ooh, that looks good.
And we're like, hey, remember this person before they were a referee?
Remember when we did this?
Remember when we talked to this person? I was thinking about that one, and God, I can't remember what the other one was. Either way, hey, guys, a lot of stuff coming up here, including next week is going to be RWA's Seasons Beatings show. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. Pretty Boy Smooth, Beastman, and the whole cast and crew from the Renegade Wrestling Alliance will be a part of that.
There's going to be pies thrown.
Pies will be thrown at Tony Kincaid. If that didn't sell you on it, and by the way, IndieWrestling.network and IndieWrestling.live or the membership over on YouTube is much cheaper than both of those shows I talked about previously. So about roughly half the price what you're going to pay for that. You're going to check that out on December 13th, I think is next Saturday, and you can watch after or whatever the case may be. If you got other stuff going on, because of course we do have, we'll probably talk about next week a little bit more, or even tonight, I guess. Enjoy Wrestling is next week on their Patreon. A lot of options, and the nice thing is you don't have to watch this stuff live. I hardly watch anything live anymore, to be quite honest. I just got to be really careful with my social media intake when I have something else going on, like the NXT. Kind of busy, But a lot of good options there, so go check that out. Support indie wrestling. Support us putting out good indie wrestling. And also part of that is going to be the reboot of sorts coming up with Thursday night fights. Top Rope Tabletop's next Friday. Oh, hey, Top Rope Tabletop's next Friday too. Also free on the YouTube. This is a very busy December, by the way. So, plus it's Christmas, and I have to figure that out. So Thursday night fights is moving from the south side, not to the east side, but definitely up the mountain. Of sorts, to the Hilltop, to someplace familiar. If you've checked out the Hilltop County Fair with Enjoy Wrestling, or you've seen the second season of Fight Underground, it's the same room. But I love that wrestling has somehow been attracted to this space. So that's been kind of nice, and ignore all the stuff in the background going on right now. There's business happening in the room. Anyways, Walmart came really late apparently. So Thursday night fights is happening in the new space at the Warehouse. Are we officially calling it the Warehouse? I think. I
don't know if it has a name. It has an address, 829 Industry Street, over in Allentown, right behind Bottle Rocket, which is a bar over there that a lot of people are familiar with.
Still in the city.
Yep, 3-minute drive from the south side. So if you've gone to the south side, not a very big commute. Lots more parking, lots more bathrooms. Just an overall great vibe.
Yes, a lot better for the fans. Yeah, the parking sounds like it's going to be a lot easier than the south side. I think we can take a train there from my neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if that's permanent, but right now the T does run like right next to the venue, basically. That was a temporary stop. I know they were trying to make it permanent, but I lost track of where it is.
I was there when they used to have the stop there, and before they stopped pulling it out of there. So, that's a really cool vibe from that, And I can't wait for all the promos with the train going by. Well, you know what? There was a train right behind the venue at the last one. Like I would sit there in production. And I was like, oh, there's an earthquake. No, it's a train.
At least the T passes by in like a minute, where that train took 5 to 10 minutes to pass. So if you were waiting for the train, you were waiting for a good amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, hey, I love that 880 kind of has these eras now. We had the New Ken Dottie Block era. We had the Southside Shop era, which I think, attracted some new fans. We had some cool vibes there for a little bit, and you've alluded on Thursday nights to being partially responsible for this move.
Yeah. And, I think it was on the first episode of the Southside. I said I was going to rid the South Side of 880 Wrestling and clean up the South Side.
And then literally a for sale sign went up on the building a couple months ago.
Crazy, right? I did it. I kept my word.
Out, huh?
I always keep my word. We'll talk about gay enough later, but I said I'd be a TNF champion, longest reigning TNF champion. I said that me and Clayton King would be the most dominant tag team. We clearly are. And then I said I would get 880 Wrestling out of the South Side. It didn't belong in the South Side. The HOA didn't want it there, and now we're not there.
Southside has an HOA?
Yeah. They love me.
Okay. All right.
Don't doubt me.
Okay. I'm learning. I'm learning about this.
Also, I need to point out, Riz is not wearing his Leaders by Example t-shirt that I know he owns. And the moment you were able to, I expect you to change.
Okay, I'll be right.
Go.
Where's he going?
He's going to change.
He's gone.
If you had one, I would tell you to do the same.
Now we'll judge this room without him gone, with him there. Okay. So the new space is obviously bathrooms and such, but we've seen some pictures coming up online with it. I know the ring's gone in there in the last couple of days. Figuring out the space and everything.
No more low boy ring.
No more low boy. Oh,
we have high ceilings. You're going to see a lot of the aerial moves that maybe we couldn't quite do in the South Side.
Oh, so you can finally get your swanton in.
Oh yeah, all the high flying stuff
right.
you've come to expect from some guy named John. It's all back.
Yes, we know you're very airborne.
Oh yeah,
when you have the space for it. So I'm waiting for your moonsault. I'm waiting for your 450.
All the ones all the classics that I've always pulled out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So everybody should be thanking some guy named John Says Teapot for the great work he and the Leaders by Example have done for 880 Wrestling.
We do so much.
Yes,
thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I notice you.
There it is. You have recently I got to repost the pillow death match. I think we've had you on since that.
The lumberjack pillow fight.
And which was followed up the next day by a whips and chains match.
Yeah.
And of course you've come back around, and Marco is now a member of the crew,
proud member,
with Reese Hayes and everything going on at 880. That seems to be going well from what I can tell.
Yeah, I think
you've grown on each other, around each other, maybe other directions. I don't know.
I think we all sensed change was happening in 880 Wrestling, and maybe we weren't a part of that change, so we made our own change. It started with Reese Hayes aligning with me and Clayton King when we, with no assistance and no help, beat MV Young and Brandon St. James in a tag team death match, which I'm sure you can go watch on indiewrestling.us. And then Marco Narciso returned after Blizzy Blake single-handedly lost their tag team championships. I mean, come on. Really, Blizzy? And Marco was a little peeved about that. People are still cheering for Blizzy. Blizzy's a loser. He lost their belts. So Marco decided he needed to be around winners. And what better winners than the Leaders by Example? And now the four of us are just winning. That's what we do now.
No dissension. You guys are all on the same page. No issues here, right?
We are all on the same page. I mean, did you see Reese Hayes just beat David Lawless? You're never going to see David Lawless in 880 Wrestling again because of Reese Hayes. With no help, yet again. Well, maybe a little assist from Casey War. He should work on his aim.
Yeah, Casey had a pretty decent post about that and seems a little worked up
poor
about
Casey.
it. So, yeah. Things don't work out in wrestling sometimes. Listen, you do a lot of promos through a year. You're a little bit of let's say a talker when you're not a lucha leader, as partner's calling you in the chat room.
Yeah, the kombuchador.
The kombuchador. Oh, I like that. What would your mask look like?
I don't know. Bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yeah, lots of bubble designs.
Okay.
I don't wear a mask. Have you seen this face?
Okay, there you go. It'll be a mask that still shows the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the hair. Yes. It's complimentary and not covering. I got you. Okay, I'm on the same page here. I forgot where my question was going.
Something about me cutting promos.
You're cutting promos. You listen, man. I was not there for the last show at Southside. I was on a plane watching your show, and I was losing it watching your talking about Effie, and correct me if I'm misspeaking there.
What did you do, Sorg?
What's
Why
that?
are you-
Oh, Riz is here. Riz is
do?
here. Good. Save me from this.
Yeah,
Riz,
there you go.
look,
Thank
Riz
goodness.
has
You
got his
look
shirt on.
beautiful.
Yeah, I got my
What a
shirt on now.
handsome young man. I
There we
love
go.
this.
So
I
what did you
notice
do?
you.
What did you say to get you upset, Sorg?
Well, I don't know. You and Clayton had this talk on the last Thursday Night Fights. You were lined up against, of course, Effie, the now former GCW champion, which lost to that weekend, by the way, before your match, and against Atticus Cogar, that we're all a fan of here, and Billy Dixon. It was an interesting take on the situation. I don't know if you want to kind of elaborate on that for people that didn't listen.
Yeah, no,
When your encounter with Effie and Billy.
When MV Young announced that we were going to be taking on Billy Dixon and Effie, we really looked at their whole body of work, and we realized at the time they were charlatans. They're both praised as these icons of gay culture and pro wrestling that create opportunity. They've both been promoters. They're both workers that have accomplished so much. And we kind of thought it was a crock of shit. So we decided the gay community in pro wrestling needed new heroes, and who better than commonly known as the Alpha Ally of Appalachia, Clayton King, and some guy named John.
Okay.
And we might not be traditionally gay, but we're gay enough to be gay icons.
You had shirts for it.
Yeah, we had shirts.
They looked like they're tough enough a little bit, but
hey,
yeah.
that's a great logo, and they'll be for sale soon. If you want to buy one, just hit me up.
There you go, Riz. It's coming soon.
There we go. More
There you
merch.
go. There you go. So you, how was your match with Effie?
Well, we beat him. With once again no assistance, no help.
Oh, none whatsoever.
None
right?
whatsoever.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure we were endorsed by Billy Dixon, though. He believes our messaging, and that's great. I love Billy Dixon. Billy Dixon's had a tough year. Had a wedding fall apart.
Yeah, steel cage divorce next week, I believe, at Enjoy Wrestling.
I mean, that's a lot to go through for a guy.
It's a very emotional time for him.
Very emotional time. I don't even think he wanted to be on the opposite side of that ring from us. But at the end, he gave us that nod after we both pinned the former GCW champion. I mean, Effie's lucky he lost the GCW championship. Otherwise, he'd owe me a match right now. I should be GCW champion.
Is there a case to be in running that he is the former champion and you do have a pin on him?
I do, right? I
don't know what the booking committee looks like at GCW.
Let's hit them
in general.
up.
Let's hit them up. So anybody got their number out there? I'm sure. I think a couple people we know have worked with them. Right?
Effie's had a phenomenal year. I think more title defenses than any GCW champion ever. And I think he went in really overconfident, thinking he was gonna really just school me in there. And in the end, once again, all on our own with no assistance, no help. Clayton and King and I just used our tag team excellence to overcome them.
Pretty interesting night there. So what's next for the leaders going into the new year here?
Well, I think that's a bit of a surprise. We have a big show coming up on Thursday, first show of a new venue. And we're looking just to continue making a mark as a tag team. I think all the leaders, by example, did what they said they would do. Now, obviously, Blizzy Blake got sick, so Marco had to beat CPA. We, of course, had Reese Hayes chasing that fraud lawyer, David Lawless, out of 880. And we beat Billy Dixon and Effie. Come on. What group has had a bigger night in 880 than we had on Wednesday?
No, absolutely, and I think that was like something of an attendance record there in the ballroom at Penn Brewery. By the way, I just rolled this back because I realized where we're. You kind of got rejected. You tried to. Remember getting a smooch on with Effie here and got a little bit of rejection?
Well, the fans are chanting for a kiss.
Okay.
Repeatedly. Apparently, they weren't pleased with what me and Clayton were giving them.
Okay.
So I gave.
You had this kind of like move. You had this like kind of like head bob move.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's just something we do. We've always done it.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure we did. But I thought, why don't we give the fans what they want? This is
Okay.
a sold-out building.
Yes.
It's packed. Let's give them a little smooch. And Effie had the gall to say I wasn't gay enough.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Shocking behavior.
Yes.
Just shocking.
So,
But you still won in the end. Just want to point it out there. You still won.
Yeah, that's the thing. We did win. And it was hard. We tried the corrective action, our tag team finisher. Effie kicked out of it. Obviously, endurance like no opponent I've ever been in the ring with. But at the end of the day, it was the triple power bomb that we performed with no help, no assistance from anyone that took him down.
Yep. No, absolutely. It was
Two guys did a triple power bomb.
Yeah,
Yep.
two guys. That's how good they are. I can't even see the third guy.
Billy was just standing there, and we just made it work. See,
Billy was there
Billy's
for
so
support.
so aggressive right there, Billy Dixon. I'm surprised we didn't fall down right there, but we just managed to manipulate the situation.
Billy is a powerhouse. Yes.
Look at that. That's some in-ring awareness, and Effie goes down. 1, 2, 3. I've watched this like a million times. It never gets old.
I'm sure you have.
It's great.
There you go. So that's the Thanksgiving Bash. You guys can check that out on the YouTube. It's actually going to be free for everybody at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night, so you can catch up with things before we get to the Thursday night show on everything going on there. But, of course, available to subscribers since last Wednesday. Any last words? First of all, do you have any, we're going into the new year here at the end of the month. Do you have any resolutions going forward for the new year?
At the time, I think Clayton and I said a couple months ago we were bigger than the tag team championships, but now we think it might be our duty to elevate the tag team championships. Maybe not right away, but I don't think it'll be long before, we make the Psychedelic Dreams bags a little bit lighter, if you catch my drift. And maybe champions everywhere. Leaders by example are spreading their wings. We're going everywhere. We debuted at RWA last month. Successful with another win in the W column. And I think that's going to be a pattern you're seeing time and time again when it comes to SGNJ and Clayton King. We win.
One of your other favorite people is in the chat room. I just noticed on our YouTube for IndieWrestling.us. Austin Carnes is in there.
Oh, that bum.
Yeah, there you go. There's been some. Mac, are you trying to instigate a fight in the chat room over there?
I'm trying to instigate a fight so we can record it to make us more money.
I got you. I love the business sense this kid has.
If Austin wants a match, I guess I can do a match with Austin.
Austin, who put him through the table?
Andrew Palace. I respect the hell out of that man for that.
Yeah, there you go. There's a lot happening over there. Mike's in there. That is. So I hope John kicks you off commentary again. So man, at least he's not doing a run-in. I don't know if Austin knows where the studio is, thankfully. So we'll see. He's getting pretty hot in there. But Mateo Valentine apparently left a message. Says, "Have fun with John. It's going to be a doozy. I hope you have relaxers." Yes, I do. And they're starting to kick in now. So there you go. Some guy named John. You're on all the social media. You have, I think, plenty of clips of the highlights of your match from this last week on socials.
A bunch.
If I recall, yes. So you can get a little update there as well. And stick around. We'll be talking a little more wrestling with you. All right. So we are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We kind of did a partial credit on the homework this week. So we'll talk a little bit about that and talk about like kind of what we just referenced a little bit with the evolution of War Games with WWE. And then we'll find out what we learned in wrestling and a bit more. And maybe we might go deep and read the comments. We'll see. We'll see after this message.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
When we come back. Hey, we're back. It's the Wrestling Mayhem show. Riz is here somewhere, but here's his chair. And also with us, intern Mac is here. I love when I surprise you with the shot and you're like, oh, I'm on TV. That's called presence. And some guy named John, of course, 880 Wrestling, which is showing up in the new location up in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh here this Thursday. But also next week, you're going to be on Enjoy Wrestling, we forgot to mention.
Yep. Tag teaming up with Gianni, Michael, Enrico, the greatest Italian to ever come from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Ever, especially in pro wrestling.
Oh, okay. I wonder if there's any other high-profile Italians
not
of
at all.
any living or dead in professional wrestling.
Just Gianni, Michael, Enrico.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Fatal four-way tag match. He does not need my help to win, but because Cristiano has some other obligations, I will be filling in. I am the third last real Italian.
The third to last, or third last?
There are three of us. I'm the third one.
The last
very Italian, some guy named John. That's what people say about me.
Okay. That's, I haven't seen that on your card. Maybe that'll be on your trading card.
I'm Italian enough.
Sure. Okay. So that's going to be down at Valium. I know it's been I was there the first time we were doing with Valium. Had to miss last time because of COVID, but got to watch it from home at least. So it's a very cool venue. Again, a nice big warehouse space.
Yeah,
I like this move to warehouses that we're doing in the rest of professional wrestling. Better than the gymnasiums. All respect to gymnasium shows; they're cool enough too. But I just like a variety in spaces. It felt like everybody was on a basketball court 10 years ago, right? So, no, that's going to be a good one. You got, I mean, we were talking about on the break. You got Beastman and Reese, which is an interesting Beast Friends we saw at Hilltop. If you're on Patreon, you can see that match for their Enjoy Wrestling. And Danny Moe, and I forget who the other partner was with Danny Moe. So there's some interesting matchups there that you usually don't see.
Yeah,
other places.
Fourth line, some opponents I've
fourth
faced
line,
many
and then there's a fourth
occasions.
line that we are familiar with.
Yeah.
So, and I understand you guys are kicking off the show.
Yeah, we are announced as the opening match. So Last Real Italians will usher in the show with a big win, I'm sure.
Well, good luck to you on that if you need it, obviously.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that's so. So there you go. All over the place here in Pittsburgh. So single-handedly keeping Pittsburgh wrestling in the city propped up. Right, John?
Yeah, no. And I it's always cool, though, when there is stuff in the city. When I lived in Philadelphia, there were lots of independents. So few of them actually ran in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, they'd all gone bankrupt. But the few that were there that I could get to via SEPTA, like the public transportation company.
SEPTA sounds like something else to me. Which is probably still accurate, right?
Yeah, no, they're terrible. But it made it special. You could just go to the bar, catch a bus or a train, and you're at a show. And I think there's a novelty to that, to not having to go on a car ride for 30 minutes. And sometimes I want to go on that car ride for 30 minutes. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a blast too. But there's something fun about having wrestling in your own backyard.
And it's we talk about this a lot, where it's like, I don't think there's a lot of people, your mass of people aren't going an hour away for shows or coming in an hour to shows to the city. Right. So you really kind of do get a different audience than you would say, obviously, you're at RWA. That's quite a different audience than we're seeing at 880 or Enjoy at this point. Right. So,
yeah, I think 880, a lot of the Enjoy regulars kind of discovered 880 through Enjoy.
Sure.
And it's a different crowd. I think there's a lot of more overlap than people give credit to the fan bases of all the professional wrestling around here.
Yeah.
But there are some fans that don't leave the city. If it's not within city limits, they're not going to that show. And that was an untapped market. That was people who were just going to AEW, WWE, and now they have a spot to go catch indie wrestlers, where you also have some of the great talents from everywhere else coming through to be featured.
And talents that aren't being seen at even the regional companies in the area too.
They at this upcoming Enjoy show, you have Paul London versus Mikey Montgomery. That is a cool match. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't remember what else has been announced yet, but there's a lot.
Let me go pull up the thing just to make sure, because I don't know what you're privy to or making your dealings with or anything like that. No, obviously that, and obviously...
Well, the steel cage match between Sonny Kiss and Billy Dixon.
Dog collar match between MV and Mad Dog
Which
Connolly.
Is gonna be great.
By the way, I just saw Mad Dog in person over at Defy again, and obviously we saw what he did to Reese Hayes the last show for Enjoy. He is I saw some of the scariest moves in wrestling, legitimately.
He murdered Reese Hayes.
I know. And you should see what he did to this other guy at Defy. I can't remember who he took on over there. So
I love Reese. Never mind.
yeah, they love him, but God, he took a beating on that show.
And speaking of War Games match, Better Business Bureau versus Runway and Holodeck, which that's going to be a lot of cool. There's only been that one steel cage match at Stage AE, so I'm really excited to see the setup.
Which was Lawless and
Mr. Grimm.
Mr. Grimm, that's right. So a lot of really interesting stuff going on there. And again, we mentioned the steel cage divorce that's going to be happening next week as part of that show. And I think that's all the big stuff that's been actually announced for them. And there might be some other surprises in there. They have a pretty tight show. We talk about Defy is a very nice, tight show. Enjoy also is a very tight show. Obviously, there's some DNA between them or influence between them, and everything. I mean, they were on, Enjoy is still, I think, on Remix with Defy and everything too. So, but I know Remix is still a thing because it was brought up the other day. And I just, but there's just a lot. I can't keep up with all the streamers. Listen, I can't operate my own streamer and keep up with all the streamers. So it gets hard these days. So, and I'm getting more pictures from the venue. This is exciting. I'm not going to share them yet. This is very behind the scenes. This is more me stuff because this is not interesting to anybody else, I'm sure. Are we gonna have a bar? What's happening here? Anyways, it looks very cool so far. I think they're getting the lights in tonight, so I'm very excited to get in Thursday and figure out how we're going to shoot that show with the interns. I think both the interns are going to be there to shoot it as well. Mac, are you excited for a place that doesn't? I don't know. I'm not excited for a place with less graffiti for one thing, because I thought that was a very cool look. But I'm excited for the open space.
Yeah, and
to work in.
And the heat is way better. So
Yay!
now that it's cold, I think that's something that's on everyone's mind.
I'm still bringing my space heater just in case the first night.
Yeah, I mean, I was there today.
Yeah,
it was cozy. And lots of space. Like you're just not on top of anyone there. There aren't skate ramps. I think there was some charm to the old space, but I think this new one is an upgrade in every way.
I love it. I love this evolution that's happening here. Anyway, so we have a little bit of a homework, and we had some scheduling issues and stuff, and we did get to. I got to refresh up on this match. Mac, you got to watch some of this match. We're talking about the first War Games in WWE. This is NXT. This is roughly 20 years after WCW had done a War Games, and this was interesting. It was the Undisputed Era, Sanity, and Authors of Pain, with Roderick Strong, who was dressed as an author of pain, which I forgot about. This was a weird format. And I remember when we watched it, like, this is a weird format. There's no roof was the first thing that bothered us. And, this is when, like, the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Sandy was, of course, Eric Young, and Damo, I forget what, Killian Dane, I think was maybe his name then? Or is that his name now? I can't remember which is which.
Killian Dane was his WWE name, I believe.
And Wolf something. Was part of that at the time. Madman Fulton was not in this part of it. I think Madman Fulton was an early iteration of Sanity.
Oh yeah, Alexander Wolf.
Alexander Wolf. Thank you for that poll.
Man,
wow, Riz appears with information.
So I remember that because Mad Mike actually made a nice little, and we'll get back to that for a minute. Made a comment once saying that Alexander Wolf was the one person that was like really hard because there was like another Alexander W in WWE, and it was picking up on that one.
Oh, when he was working at WWE. Yeah. That's fun.
I think it was him.
Yeah, that sounds like a Mike problem. Yeah, for sure. So the interesting thing about this format of this match, again, there's 3 teams of 3 people. So there's 9 people versus we have 10, like 5-on-5 right now in War Games, right? They did the first 5 minutes of a 3-way. And then every 2 minutes after that, they let out the rest of each team. Mm-hmm. And it, like, the rest of Undisputed comes out, rest of AOC comes out or something like that, right? Which was an interesting take. I don't think they did that again after this. It went back to like 2 teams.
I feel like they I vaguely recall it, but I feel like they experimented a lot with those early ones when they were first bringing them back in NXT. Like, it was like, all right, we want to bring this back. We want to make it WWE version. A lot of trial and error.
There was but they got that out of the way and got into the match, and you just had 9 people being wild. Because what was it like, Mac? Didn't we say there was like 20 minutes after they got everybody in there at that point?
Yeah, and it just like I have it up right now, and I'm like going through it.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going.
Yeah. Like, and it's not boring. It's 47 minutes, this match with intros, right? And which is like, I think like the old, like I was interesting because like the new ones are like an hour. The original ones were like 30 minutes, right? And had more people coming in and everything, right? So, and this was like, again, reminded me of what that era was like of NXT. Oh God, this is what got us through. I feel like that energy that we had in NXT during that time, where all of the cool people from the Indies and Ring of Honor and TNA were coming in and just going and just having these baller matches. I feel like, again, watching back to that, a lot of that DNA, obviously some of the talent, but a lot of that general DNA is what kind of got brought over into AEW when it started around there too. Plus all the guys that they wouldn't bring in, right? Like that was kind of the special thing about AEW. Mac, kind of in your own, not lived through this vacuum, what are your kind of take on this so far versus what you've seen otherwise?
I think this just like emphasizes in my heart I love steel cage matches just because they can't escape.
This is where you've landed on things.
Like, I think it's fun because, like, normal matches, like, you can roll out the ring, whatever, you can, like, take a break. You're just stuck there. And it's like, with this, they don't have a roof, so, like, you can climb on top. I'm terrified of heights, so being on top of a cage like that sounds like the worst thing on earth. And there's at one point, the one dude climbs up and throws the other dude off, and they land on all the people. And it's just, that sounds awful to me. That's something I would never want to experience, but it's so much fun watching someone else have to deal with.
Did you see
that.
the EO Sky trash can spot from this weekend?
Yes, that is, like, the only clip. It showed up, like, 50 times on my Instagram in the last week.
She's straight upside down with her legs like split out at some point. It's madness. It's absolute madness. One of the early times when she did this, she smiled like deviously as she slid the trash can over her head. I think it was the second time she ended up doing that in NXT. Anything else from this? Again, this is like a kind of a menagerie of extra talent that you probably haven't seen at this point, right?
I haven't seen any of these people. I don't know. Right now, because, like, I'm just learning all these names. All these people just blend together, and there's so many that, like, I don't realize, like, their parents were wrestlers, whatever, and then someone shows up that just looks identical to someone else, and I'm like, do these people all look the same? Are they related? Like, are they multiplying?
To be fair, when I watched Ring of Honor, where a lot of these guys came from, like the era of Ring of Honor, a lot of those guys came from, I did have problems like Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly are teaming up. Can't tell you the difference. Cedric Alexander and somebody was teaming up. Could not tell you the difference. Like, we talked about tag team blindness in the past. I'm just like, two white dudes in tights. I don't fucking know. They do fucking cool shit, but I don't know who the fuck they are, right? And it's like, yeah, again, it's Roderick Strong and it's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole and stuff like that, right? You know, like that. WWE did separate them a little bit, I felt, you know. So, but yeah, going in, you're just like, yeah, this is just dude does this moves. So,
that I'm gonna say a name that you don't know, but Sorg will know. It's very Mason Ryan like.
Wait.
Which is pretty much.
Remind us of Mason Ryan.
Mason Ryan was just like, as soon as he came out, everybody's like, "Is that Batista?" Yeah. Like, oh my God, it was right. Just straight up Batista.
He was British Batista.
He was British Batista. He's Batista. It was the thing.
British Batista with hair.
This was the thing, like, especially this era. This would have been like the mid to late 2000s of WWE. Every guy that came in looked like this guy. You know, looked like your O'Hare and Jindrax, your like muscle guy. Everybody had the same stack of muscles. You know, and you just pasted a different face kind of on them, and they had tights, and that was it. And then nobody had personality. Like, nobody stuck out beyond that, right? Cena was just muscle dude in tights when he first started, right? And he developed into this other thing. Because it's like, of course he got lost in the shuffle. You look like everybody else. You know, having muscles and doing a headlock does not float in WWE, you know, and it takes, some of these guys don't figure that out, right? And sometimes it's like, why is all of SmackDown these guys? Like, it was a bit for a while, especially before they had like a good developmental, you know. If you watch OVW, you ever see like the OVW DV that's like, not the one Joe Dabrowski did, but there's the one that was at Walmart that was like Future Stars, hosted by Jim Cornette, because I think he owned like that part of the OVW library. Yes. And it was Batista and Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton and Shelton Benjamin. But they're like the most generic iteration of those guys. Great matches, but there's nothing to connect with at that point. It was quite cool to see them in the early days, but that's what that is. Anything else, Mac, that you're learning from your poke through of that match?
Not about that match, but Podner asked, "Have you taught me what fuck Bobby Fish is?"
I did talk to you about fuck Bobby Fish a little bit.
Yeah, that would be Patreon discussions on that one.
Yeah, we've had the conversation. The people that know the lore on the show know this. So, I have forgiven internally Bobby Fish and a lot of people in wrestling.
What about Psycho Clown?
Psycho Clown's on the fringe. That felt malicious when that happened. So that is that's like a not cool thing that he did. No, I'm the one that wronged Puppet.
I know.
And R.I.P. Okay. So no. I have mostly forgiven the people that wronged me over the last couple of decades of wrestling. Chachi has not. So I'll be like, nah, I'm good. He's like, nah, fuck that guy. I'm like, all right. So there was actually a thing that came up in the last couple of years where they're like, would you be okay working with these people, from a thing in the past? And I'm like, I would deal with it, but the people I'm actually going to send will not be okay with it. Like the crew has a grudge that I've gotten over, that has to do with me. So, it's a really interesting dynamic.
Sorg, there are names in my head now already.
No, you're just like ticking through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I don't think, John, you're early in wrestling. Obviously, other than the obvious people we can talk about, like Effie and MV Young and such, probably for you in these cases. But there's gonna do you already have like a list of people in your head? They're like, yeah, I'm not working with that guy again. That kind of thing. You're just like, yeah, maybe we're not gonna be on a show with this again. Don't name names or anything. But
I think most of them already gave up wrestling. Which is good.
There's that too, because it's inevitable, man.
Yeah.
Right? You're just gonna it's the personality types that wrestling attracts.
I feel like the first time I tried training with CZW a decade ago, there were a lot more of those personalities than there've been at 880 this go around. Like there were quite a few people where I was like, I would never want to have a match with that person ever. And thankfully, most of them, once again, they're not wrestling anymore, so I don't have to.
The universe kind of works it out, right?
Yeah.
In the end, so
they all got canceled. Literally.
Okay, usually not. Listen, that's an anomaly because you went through that era, right?
Yeah. I was, CZW like a decade ago. Then speaking out, and suddenly they're all gone. Because you just got a sense knowing a couple of them, and I won't name names, but
no. Like if you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows that there's been a thing. And I think that happens. Like it's kind of part of the wrestling business, And I feel like I'm on the fringe of the wrestling business, and it still seems to happen. So, and I'm also interested in the people that think I have a problem with them that's come up.
Yeah.
I'll say it publicly. Rob Black, I don't have a problem with you, but we're gonna book things differently next time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I would not work with a guy like that again, because I think he was on the show saying I hated him or something. So I
don't think there's anyone I wouldn't work with. I think I've probably pissed off a couple people in that way, but for me, no, I don't think there's anyone I wouldn't work with.
Mm-hmm. That's because you haven't been around long enough.
Yeah, I just don't have that much animosity. Like the things people have got upset about are so small to me that I think they're funny.
Oh yeah.
I've had someone threaten to fight me before.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like in the business, or like a fan, or probably both, right?
Another wrestler, very publicly in a group chat while I'm driving to Michigan, so I missed all of it.
So you just get out, why my phone have 100 messages?
Oh yeah,
and they're all about me.
They wanted to have a fight with me over the most petty nonsense, and I heard about it all after the fact. It had been resolved. It had been told you don't do that stuff. They got the lecture, and I'm literally driving my kids to Michigan, get out at a rest stop, and I'm like, what happened in the group? Oh, it's all about me. Oh, that's great.
Who's this guy everybody's pissed at? And you're like, oh no, it's me.
No, nobody was pissed at me. They were pissed at the person who wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
Because that's just crazy. Mm-hmm. Escalating something out of nowhere to a fight. That's not my style. Mm-hmm. I found it hilarious more than anything. People are like, you should be upset. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny.
This is one of those things where you have to take a moment and boil down everything and say, listen, the thing that we're doing around professional wrestling, whether we're working around it, watching it, or in it like you, this is the most ridiculous thing in the fucking world.
Oh my goodness.
You are involved in the most ridiculous, said with no disrespect, but play, fighting, theater, theatrical, sporting, athletic venture, however words you put on that all apply to this thing. But it is the most ridiculous thing, and if you want to fight somebody over this, what the fuck?
Agreed. I another thing. I remember once I shot down an idea just it involved leaders. I didn't like it, and it got back to me that I ruined this person's career. This person had been wrestling for a year. I ruined their career. Now they have a full job outside of pro wrestling. So I'm like, come on.
Have you been told you're going to burn the territory?
I have not. Oh, I hope so.
That was a wonderful day for me. I was going to be the reason Tommy Dreamer wouldn't come back to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's great.
Because I was told the day of I had to provide a camera person that I didn't have access to. Yeah, for a show that I asked for weeks if they needed.
So he was going to boycott
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
So allegedly, I don't think Tommy Dreamer is aware of that, but but I was told that by a promoter once. So I was like, well, that's fun. So all right, that's why I'm not mad. I'm not at certain places anymore. It's like, oh, that's how especially when you work at places like. I'm wearing the shirt, but I'm wearing a hoodie. Warrior Wrestling is coming back this week. I want to make a mention because I love those guys out there, and they're coming back and doing their thing. And like that was the place where I'm just like, oh, this doesn't have to be shitty, and you can be a big show. That's amazing. And this is something that I learn and relearn working with Enjoy, working with 880, working with Defy Wrestling. Working with the other company, plenty of the companies, that we work around the area and abroad, so it's like, wow, fuck, this is what a professional company was like, and it's just like, and this is again why I advocate. We've talked about this before many times. Get the fuck out of your company so you can see how it can be, no matter how good you think a company is that you came up in, like, one, you got to see how bad it can get, and you can see how good it can get in other places too. Feel like and just different versions of doing the same thing.
The most unhappy people in wrestling have very rarely left their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I find it's people that have not challenged themselves. They've not gone elsewhere. So they have this idea about how things are supposed to be everywhere. And they've sold themselves on this idea. But if they went anywhere, they would see their idea is so small-minded and kind of foolish. It's ridiculous. The people who travel, they're usually so much more chill. Like I get along with 99% of everyone I meet. Even people that are like, oh, you won't like him. I'm like, I love the guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of very rare with that kind of thing. And I think that's a rule that applies to day-to-day life. And I know not everybody has the access or means to get out, but even it's just like, man, can you afford a tank of gas to get 3 hours from the city or 3 hours from your small town or something? See how somebody else lives. God, even to the point where I realized that there's like an entire Amish village with a giant cuckoo clock 2 hours from my house in Ohio. All my life, and I'm like, why the fuck did I not know about this? Like little things like that. But even just again seeing how other people live, and do things, it's just so you don't have to go to fucking Disney World, you don't have to go to fucking Canada. It'd be nice, but like just go somewhere, get out, because so many people don't. I always say, like, there's people in the city that have never seen a cow, and that's just like, and that you don't have to go far in this
Go
instance.
Outside.
What's that?
Just go outside for 30 minutes.
30-minute drive. Wait, in the city?
You can go down, like, past Monroeville. Just go down that way.
And also, there's people that don't have cars, I understand, and stuff, too. But,
yeah.
And this is,
Find the way.
Yeah. It's just something to endeavor to, and that I think will open up a lot of people's eyes, right?
Find your cow.
That's a quote card for Instagram. Yeah. Wrestling Mayhem Show. Find your cow. Show title. So show title will be Find Your Cow with some guy named John. Wrestling Mayhem Show 985. Welcome. That's the commercial right there. Guys, we're also going to do a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made here in the Beachview, the OG, the original, right up the tracks from where we are sitting right now in the Beachview neighborhood. They've been supporting the show. Well, God, the majority of the near 20 years that we've been here. By the way, 20-year anniversary in January of this podcast, which begot everything else. Basically, meeting the Riz, meeting the Mad Mike when he's here, meeting, getting involved in professional wrestling is all because a couple of people decided to talk about the live sex celebration on the internet between Lita and Edge.
It started with Lita.
The first sentence involved the phrase titty nipple. I should not be doing this on the Slice ad, by the way. SliceOnBroadway.com. This is why we do it deep in the show. So hopefully you don't catch that. They think it was hilarious, I'm sure.
They provided everything for my my pizza championship match with Tatiana as
They
well.
did,
That
yes.
exact slice, yeah.
Yeah, you had a no-ring pizza championship. I think that's on the YouTube, right? So
I believe so. I
think
called
we
them
filmed
up
that.
and
I don't know.
They gave me a bunch of boxes.
Did they sponsor? They gave
They
it
didn't
to you?
sponsor, but they gave me all the stuff. I basically
great.
asked. I was like, "Hey, I need pizza dough. I need boxes. It's for a wrestling match." And when I said it was for a wrestling match, they just were like, "Oh yeah, come on by."
Did you go to this one?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, good.
I live
so the
around the
one
corner,
that Beastman
yeah.
destroyed.
Yes.
Yes. Have you seen that video?
I have not seen that video.
All right, we'll be reposting that video. Maybe the Patreon will be showing you that video.
All right.
I should just be running the video on the video version of this show every week as they're at. So, it's so old. He has the Fight Society Championship.
Oh, okay.
If you know, you know. So pre-COVID. Anyways, that shows how long we've been working with these guys. Just like I reposted one of him yelling at a bus in the middle of the street in Southside at the first WrestleRex.
Yep.
Dude,
There's
Beastman's
that-
fucking wild. Mac just did a video of Beastman attacking everybody at the entrance during the Rumble at VCW last show. So,
I was
John,
hiding
that-
under the ring,
yes.
and I could just hear it. So I'm like hiding, like I can't see anything under there.
Yeah.
You know, waiting to back up.
And
my
you're
good
like,
buddy,
why do I hear a
playing-
ruckus by
and
the entrance?
I can hear things clearly being thrown, like and under the little part of the curtain. I can see people falling as they come out, and I'm like, I got no clue.
welcome to West Virginia Wrestling. So with the Beastman, there is a funny part where I think it was Avalanche Adams that I think thought he evaded it, but then gets a guardrail dropped right on top of him.
Oh, I saw that.
on the floor.
Since then, I've seen it.
Yes. So thank you for Mac for putting that together for us. There's a lot of fun stuff from the Rumble that including the relationships between Super Oprah and Felix Cos. So which is also fun. Listen, you can't you find love, you find action, calamity, shenanigans.
You'll also find a leader by example winning the Rumble,
and you learn about being an
Clayton
ally.
King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Gotta
I
put
learned-
over Clayton King.
Jeez. Where am I with this? Hey, guys. It's that time of show. What did you learn in wrestling this week? Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Me.
Oh, you can go first. You're wearing a great shirt.
First.
No, you're wearing
Yeah,
a
there
great
you
shirt.
go. The
shirt,
shirt.
too.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
You got
Look at
this.
that.
You got this.
It's like you noticed
Got
each
you on
other.
that.
We notice
Yeah,
each other.
it's
Yeah,
like-
that's right.
Anyways, Riz, go ahead.
I was gonna say I learned that we lost a good one this, I guess today. Was it today or this yesterday? CM Punk's dog Larry died.
Oh, I saw Brody King's post about it too.
Yeah. AEW and WWE legend Larry. Because remember the whole thing
Hard
started
to
with
brawl out.
Larry biting the hell out of was it Nick Jackson that he bit?
I thought Ace Steel bit the dog or something.
Oh, no.
I thought
No,
that was the story.
Ace Steel was with Punk, I thought.
Yeah, and I thought he bit somebody.
And then that's right.
I think the dog was okay, and everybody was protecting
dog
the
was
dog.
okay.
That's the
Yeah.
story I heard. That's the version of the story I heard. I can't wait for the tell-all, and they're going to make a movie about it.
Of course.
For sure, right?
Who's gonna play Larry? Jack Black.
That's
in
not the
everything.
wrong answer. That's not the wrong
in
answer,
everything.
actually. So was that?
That's all I learned. That's
Okay.
all I learned. Sorry.
R.I.P. Larry. Larry did get some merchandise and everything, so no, I can feel for that one. So we never got Pharaoh versus Larry. So
One day we will.
Dogfighting's frowned upon. That's probably for the best.
that's true.
Yeah,
too.
that's
true.
true.
too. I don't know. We have children involved with -1, right? So and Bailey girl who's now a wrestler, and of age wrestler, I believe now. So right. So John, what was yours?
I learned that leaders by example are indeed gay enough to beat Effie and Billy Dixon.
There you go.
We are.
That's what it
everyone
takes.
wondered, and we were.
Does that mean Atticus Cogar is gay enough too?
That's up for him to decide.
Okay.
I can't decide that for him, but
You can only know your case.
yeah,
I
we
got you.
certainly are. We're icons now.
Okay.
A lot of responsibility on our shoulders. Find out how we handle it this Thursday live on Thursday Night Fights right here on IndieWrestling.us.
There you go. There you go. I find it's not what I learned, but I just find things like your promo last week very educational. So I'm learning a lot about the community, and I appreciate that. I think. I don't know if I'm learning the right things about the community, but I'm learning things. Hey, Mac, what did you learn from wrestling this week? Follow that up, I guess.
I learned that even though leaders by example are great allies to the gay community, they aren't gay enough to kiss on the lips, which is what the people want.
Wow, that's a call out.
I mean, I think what we did was gay enough. And we get to decide that this isn't pornography. We don't perform for you people.
At least not this week.
Honestly, I think
it's a different show entirely.
I think the fans are feeling a little bit entitled if they expect us to perform kissing or sexual acts. Like, honestly, you sexual deviants need to keep it in your pants, zip your lips, and let us do our thing.
I mean,
I know we're handsome men, all right? I get that you lose a little control around us. But there's no need for this.
Is that the answer you were looking for, Mac?
I'll take it.
Okay. Good. Like, and a side note, like that's what customs are for. Look it up. And you're not in that business.
No,
at the moment. So, Riz, are you okay? I see pointing, but I don't hear anything.
Fuck.
What
I was muting
are you
myself
doing?
the entire time.
You're a what?
I was muting myself the
you were
entire
saying
time.
a lot of stuff and pointing.
I was going to say, I don't think Twitch allows for that type of stuff to happen on screen as much. So
what, kissing?
I assume so.
That's where it starts, okay? I know how these people are.
There's a ladder. There's a system. There's kissing, and then other stuff happens.
And then babies are made.
Exactly.
If you try hard enough.
Wait.
Right? No. We're gonna. Yeah.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. We can show babies being born
on Twitch. Wait, what?
Yeah, that happened. that has happened.
That's what I learned this week.
I'm surprised you haven't seen that.
No.
One of my saddest moments is at a child's Halloween party. I had a promo planned where I explained puberty, and I forgot my prop that I needed for it, so I did not do that promo. Me and Reese, amateur wrestler Reese Hayes, did chain smoke a lot of cigarettes while lecturing them on the dangers of candy. But my puberty speech lives up here, and I will deliver it at a child's party someday.
You're just waiting for your moment?
Oh, it was full infomercial. 3 minutes of there's some changes going on right now. And I just wanted to see how the parents reacted.
Tremendous. You gotta film something like this, right?
We're gonna get to the PSA game. It's good.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's good. Okay, ideas for Patreon later. We're gonna just leave that for the moment. All right, catching up with the chat room here. And Tony, if you want to get snuggle up to a mic, if you have something you learned too, we can get to you too. Where are we at? Chachi needs more fish without bait for forgiveness. There's that too. That's our other podcast on the network. I recommend it. This is not what he learned, but Pawner asked, some guy named John's related to Swoggle being under the ring. Did you see any leprechauns down there?
No, I did not.
Which is amazing since everything's green in that promotion.
I think in West Virginia, somebody probably ate them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some vicious people there.
Good to know. Okay. T-Pop learned that El Grande Americano and Vikingo had a match of the year contender this past weekend on the most recent AAA show, and everyone should go check it out. I'd say that would speak for itself without the language, with the barrier. You know what? YouTube, I'm really curious because YouTube, I know I keep getting promotions from YouTube about automatic translation of videos, and I'm wondering if that will apply to AAA. If there's because there's a voice, a vocal translation they can do by AI. So that might be something to play with, an option. If you poke into the beta features or something, it might be in there. So if anybody posted that, if I remember, I'm going to look at it too. So what did I learn from wrestling this week? Well, we had... No, can't talk about that one. No, can't talk about that one. So... You know what? I will say I've had a version of this, but I was reminded of a certain thing and a certain job that happens at wrestling shows. We were talking a little bit about this before the show. So if you're on the Patreon feed, you'll know the details of this. I find it amazing when people that have been in the business a year or two do certain things in wrestling better than people that have been here for probably double digits. Like I'm seeing that happen more and more these days. And I don't know, that's leading to the trainers, and a lot of it's the trainers, instilling certain things, or it could be the reps. A weekly show. I think that makes I always say I think that makes the biggest difference. Is I think you guys have more reps in the business than people been around 5 years. Like easy, right? Like the match counts that you guys have are ridiculous. Of course, Cowboy Paul was. I remember him trying to get a record on Cage Match or something that one year.
He was insane. He worked so many matches.
Yeah.
Like he got. I was, because that was when I was starting at 80, and I remember just hearing the amount of reps he was getting. He was always traveling, and I mean it shows in his work though.
But yeah, absolutely, and he's getting on some decent platforms and stuff too. So, like, I think that's kind of an incredible thing that's happening. And I think that is a thing, because I feel like, we talk about, like, kind of the different vibes of shows and things like that. And I think there was an era of settling that was happening, especially in this area. Accepting a certain level. I feel like we spoke something to this earlier in the show, too. Like, accepting a certain level of performance when it's like, oh, well, that's all we have available. Which is like, okay, well, yeah, but, like, shouldn't we expect those people to live up to what we want in the show at this level, kind of thing? So that's kind of what I've learned. It's kind of interesting to just see the younger people taking to things better than the vets, sometimes. So, and that's kind of was reinforced with me this week. So, a lot of the fun. TikTok, there's a feature that gives you translated subtitles for foreign language. AAA's, so T-Pop goes to AAA's TikTok page to watch all of their promos so they can better understand it. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's fucking great. We need more of that. We need the universal translator, kind of thing. And I know more and more of that's happening. But that's an awesome cast discussion a little bit more. So there you go. There are options. I'm sure YouTube has something. If not, they will soon. So
you can't swear on some cast.
John, some guy named. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That's the legal name. That's the government listing, right?
I think so.
So there you go. You're all over social media. You have a lot of clips of the stuff you're going on. And everybody should book some guy named John to improve the level of their relationship with their local HOA, wherever their promotion is.
Just give me a live mic. It's fun.
There you go. Best new mic guy in Pittsburgh. There you go. That's my stamp of approval there. Whether you like what he says or not is the other question, of course, right?
They don't always like it. I don't get it.
You try so hard and you got a smile on your face,
and then they boo me. I don't understand it.
Does it hurt your feelings sometimes?
Oh no.
Let's get real here for a moment.
The truth hurts.
So
maybe I do need to get you on
so stupid.
I should get you on with the therapist podcast. Let's unpack some of that, John. Okay,
right.
maybe you're like, yes, believe in yourself. You are gay enough.
I mean, I think I believe myself plenty. I don't think that's my problem.
There you go. Thank you so much, Riz. Thanks for hanging out as usual. Nice wardrobe as usual. Thank you for helping me interpret Twitch
shirt,
stats.
sir?
I'm wearing. I decided I'm too cold, and I don't have a leader shirt. I need one. I have a Warrior Wrestling shirt because I was in unity of that. This is the Thunder Rosa one. So the Thunder Rosa one. Sorry, I wasn't on mic. So, anyways, in at least internal solidarity, since I'm wearing it, it's cold. It's snowing out. Well, I think we'll do a little bit of Patreon maybe here for this week. Sorry, everybody. It got a little bit late this week. Patreon, again, was a little finicky with me on some of the videos for the Patreon exclusive stuff. So, and also, if you're on Patreon, you're going to get the show without the ad. Okay, without the block of ads in the middle. That's the only thing I can think of to take out, honestly. So, because everything else is rather integrated, but at least a little bit less for you to deal with there. So, thank you, everybody, to support that. And please hop on, even if it's $1 a month, just to support the show, show the love, and show us that there's an audience that wants to hear us every week, which is really, that helps us believe in ourselves. Not that we need validation, but it is nice. And now we're just going deep with that stuff. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. I want to see you Thursday night at 880 Wrestling Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.